What's up, everyone? Happy New Year to you, January 1st, 2021. Let's make it a great year. You're watching Sports Snippets with Dennis Sullivan here to discuss a little Miami Heat with the season, the NBA season that is, just getting underway. The Heat have now played 4 games, splitting those 4 games, starting off the season at 2 wins and 2 losses. And please don't forget to hit that like button if you do, in fact, like the content of this particular video. I would really appreciate it. Certainly would help out the channel. So let's get right into things, guys, as we get started with a brand new NBA season. And I always give it a couple of games just to kind of see how things are going, see what player is kind of stepping up unexpectedly, see how the minutes are being distributed, things of that nature. What we've seen so far with the Heat, of course, splitting their first 4 games, I'll start things off by saying I have a feeling this is going to be the norm for now, meaning it's going to kind of be a game up, a game down, looking really good and then not looking that great. The Heat are certainly finding their way without Jimmy Butler the last few games, who is recovering from that ankle injury. He, I believe, is a game-time decision for tonight's game. That's January 1st matchup with the Dallas Mavericks on the road. That game is set to start at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Mavericks themselves struggling at 1-3 to start the season, so maybe a good time to play the Mavericks, right? There are 7 teams in the East so far that have winning records. Some of it is surprising, and we're just going to have to kind of wait and see, while other teams, such as the Sixers, looking really good, and we'll get to that in just a moment. So when things break down, guys, I mean, the Jimmy Butler numbers really are incomplete because, of course, he's only at 26 minutes a game in the 2 games that he played because of the second game not playing as much. So his numbers certainly aren't even really worth discussing because it's not realistic, really. But the Heat are starting the season, though, with 6 players averaging in double figures. And you really have a rotation, really, in my humble opinion, of about 12 players. And that's not even counting Mo Harkless. So really, actually, it's 11 players, guys. And then Mo Harkless would give you 12. Yeah. So, I mean, the Heat are very much like last year in that the bench is very deep. Harkless only averaging about 9 minutes a game, though, by the way, through the first 4 games. And that's not even counting KZ Okpala. So let's run through it real quick, guys. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to be really surprised if I see the Heat at about 5-5, maybe 6-4 after 10 games. The thing is this. The Heat are a very good team, but let's not get carried away and start using the word great when we discuss the Miami Heat. They could be a great team. Now, I'm not here to dampen all the Miami Heat hype, and as a matter of fact, I certainly don't want to add a little lack of enthusiasm to the season. I certainly don't want to do that. It's just that I think that for now, we're just going to kind of see a Heat team trying to find itself and kind of winning and losing and stuff like that. And we'll discuss more on that. I'll definitely keep you guys updated as the season goes on, and we'll see if that actually plays out. And then, not to think too deeply here, but I think right around mid-season is where we're going to see the Heat start to really increase their position in terms of playoff seeding and stuff like that. And they will definitely be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and very well could repeat as Eastern Conference champions. But keep in mind, I mean, even though they lose in 6 games to the Lakers last year in the NBA Finals, they are now more of the wanted or the hunted, right? Instead of being the hunters. So, teams have them circled on their schedule and all that other stuff. Oh, wow, we're playing the Heat on Friday night. Better get ready. So it's a different type of challenge for the Heat. They're not going to sneak up on anyone this year, guys. We got to keep that in mind. So leading the way, you have Bam Adebayo is at about 31 minutes a game, leading the team in scoring at 19 points a game, a little over 7 rebounds, a little over 5 assists. He's having a tremendous season. Jimmy Butler, though, in all likelihood, it's almost a definite, will be your leading scorer this season because Butler, with the injury, only coming in at 11.5 points a game. A little over almost 5 rebounds, a little over 6 assists, 26 minutes a game. That's only in 2 games, though, so the Butler stats, as mentioned, really are very much incomplete. Tyler Hero is leading the team in minutes played at 34 minutes a game. He is averaging 17 points, over 6 rebounds, and a little over 4 assists a game. Kind of like Tyler Hero. Here's the thing, guys. I love the fact he's leading the team in minutes. I like that a lot. How about we keep the minutes pretty much the same? But I liked him coming off the bench a little better because I really thought last year that spark he would provide off the bench, you could still play him 33 minutes a game or 32 to 34 minutes a game coming off the bench. That is possible. Just a thought. Just a thought. Goran Dragic coming in a little over 22 minutes a game. He's at 16.5 points. He's at about 3 rebounds, a little over 4 assists. Goran's playing well, and he's shooting almost 56% from the field, guys. As a point guard, that's very good. Goran Dragic's playing really good, and he's only, again, he's doing this in only a little over 22 minutes a game. Avery Bradley may be the biggest recipient of extra playing time due to the Butler injury, playing over 27 minutes a game, 14 points, 2 rebounds, a little under 2 assists a game. Duncan Robinson also playing very similar minutes to Avery Bradley. He's about 27.5 minutes a game, 11.5 points, 4.5 rebounds. He's got a lot. Duncan Robinson right about 4 rebounds, I'm sorry. Shooting about 50%, which is pretty darn good considering he is a 3-point specialist, long-range shooter. Kelly Olynyk is getting a lot of playing time, and I like to see that. He's at about 24, a little under 25 minutes a game, a little over 8 points, and a little over 5 rebounds per game for Kelly Olynyk. Precious Achiuwa through the first 4 games, guys, I'm a little bit surprised. He's only playing about 16 minutes a game. I'd like to see that go in like the low 20s, and that can easily start to happen. So they're bringing him along very slowly. He is producing, though. I mean, he's averaging about 7.5 points, 4 rebounds, right around there. Shooting about 62% from the field. I look to see his minutes definitely go up. Kendrick Nunn, still the unsolved mystery as of late. Why he's losing time, I mean, I could tell you part of the reasons, because Goran Dragic is just, since the postseason last year, has been playing really good. But Kendrick Nunn's a good player. He's only getting about 16 minutes so far this year. Comes in around 6 points, 2 rebounds, a little over 2 assists. Myers Leonard at about 11 minutes a game. We know what he's all about. He's a good, hard-working defender. He doesn't, it's just like last year, guys. He doesn't play a lot of minutes, but he helps the team. He's a good all-around player. I would consider him in the rotation, absolutely. Andre Iguodala, the underrated player on the Heat, the defender or defensive specialist, 21 minutes a game. He is not putting up really that many numbers, 2 points a game, 5 rebounds though. He's going to get you some steals, he'll get you some occasional blocks. You got to have an Andre Iguodala in your rotation. KZ Okpala is coming in at about 14 minutes a game. 1.5 a game, around 2 rebounds. So that's really how the breakdown in minutes have gone. Guys like Chris Silva, very limited playing time, and Mo Harkless, as discussed, has played in all 4 games, but is only averaging about 9 minutes a game and about 1 point and a rebound a game. So the Mo Harkless minutes, we'll see how that progresses. I like Precious Achiuwa to definitely increase his playing time. And what about Kendrick Nunn? I mean, let's maybe take a look at that a little closer. We'll see how that situation develops. The rest of the East, guys, real quick, because this is going to have a lot to do with the success of the Heat this year, is how are these other teams? How are they progressing? The Sixers are starting off right out of the gate at 4-1. That's pretty legit. If they stay healthy, they're going to be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. The Nets, let's see if they could stay healthy. Let's just keep an eye on them. They're 3-2. Celtics are 3-2. A lot of young talent on the Celtics. I mean, you got Brown, you got Tatum, you got that's a very talented team. Celtics looking good. They were a tough out in the playoffs last year when the Heat finally would defeat them in that hard-fought series in the playoffs of last season. Pacers looking really good, guys, in that Central Division at 4-1. So your three best records really in the East are the Sixers at 4-1, the Pacers are 4-1, and the surprise of the group, the Orlando Magic, is 4-1. Now, guys, the Magic, as you recall, they have been in the playoffs the last few years as a very low seed. They've been getting that 7th, 8th seed. Apparently, that is starting to pay off. A lot of young talent there. Vucevic's a good big man. We'll see how legit the Magic are. They're legit in terms of I think that they'll have a winning season or they will be back in the playoffs. Are they going to be 10, 15 games over 500? That part remains to be seen. Cavaliers, definitely we need to see more of them. They start off 3-2. A lot of hype with the Cavaliers. Some good young talent there. Let's see how that plays out. And the Atlanta Hawks start off at 3-1. That's an interesting story. I really don't have much of a comment on the Hawks other than the teams that we really need to just wait and see, and let's see how this plays out, are the Hawks, the Magic, and the Cavs, and the Nets. You could put all those four teams in really the same category. I know Durant and Kyrie are great players, but are they going to stay healthy all season? Let's see how that works out. So you look at the Nets, the Cavs, the Magic, the Hawks. They all could be very good, but at the same time, they have to prove themselves. I think the Pacers, the Sixers, and the Celtics, they're a little bit more proven, along with the Raptors, who are off to a slow start. So that's kind of my current Eastern Conference vibe, guys. The toughest part for the Heat this year will be the fact that the Eastern Conference is very, very deep, and there's not many easy games to be played in this season's schedule in terms of who we are playing in the Eastern Conference. But I like our depth. I like the fact that Jimmy Butler's getting more healthy. Who knows? Maybe he plays tonight against the Mavericks. We'll have to wait and see. I'm liking how Goran keeps playing well, even though he's been around for a while. I like his continued good play. And what can you say about Bam? Bam's a deserved all-star in the league, and he is playing really, really well, guys. So leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Where do the Heat wind up this year? Be interesting to know your thoughts on that. My prediction is, as one of the top teams in the East, potentially could reach the finals again. So for now, this is Dennis Sullivan saying I will talk to you soon. Let's go Heat. Bye for now.